Hi, let's make a structure. This one's called a fortune teller. It has other names, but that's sort of the name that I know of. So what you'll need for this particular structure, just to get it ready, is you'll need some scissors, a pencil, and a ruler. And of course, you'll need a piece of paper with a color that you like. So I'm going to move my equipment off to the top there a little bit. The first step is a tricky step, because to make a fortune teller, you have to start with a perfectly square piece of paper. This is a rectangular piece of paper. So to make a square really quick, you need to fold it really slowly and carefully to make a square. So what we're going to do is fold one of these corners up. It doesn't matter which corner. And notice I'm watching over here until that goes right up to the edge. And I'm trying to line the top of the paper here up to the top of the rectangle like this. So you see how the edge of this side of paper matches this side of the paper? Then I'm going to hold it down really hard with my hand here. And then I'm going to pull out from my fingers here that's holding it down really tight and make a fold here. Then I'm going to move my hand a little bit, and then I'm going to use my other hand to make this fold like that. Okay. Then there's a line here that I can make with the edge of the paper, and I'm going to use my ruler so it's really straight. I'm going to draw a line here, but I'm not going to draw it on the piece of paper that I folded over. I want to draw it on this part, because that's the part I'm going to cut off to make it a square. So I'm just going to lay this down and draw a line down here. So you'll notice the line that I drew looks like that. So now I'm done with my pencil and my ruler. So just to show you again, I folded this paper over, I drew the line down this edge. Now I just want to cut that piece off. And once I do, then I have a square piece of paper. There. Now I don't need any more of my other things. I've got a square piece of paper with a fold in it. That's okay, because actually we're going to need that fold in a minute. So the next thing I'd like you to do is take your paper and turn it so that it's like a diamond with the fold going up and down. And this is a lot of folding for this fortune teller. Fold the bottom part up to meet the top and try to make the 2 points match exactly. Not like this, not like that. As best as you can, try to make them match. Then I'm going to use this hand to hold that really tight and pull this hand down to make my folds. There we go. Then when I unfold it, I have a square piece of paper with a fold going this way and a fold going that way. Now we're ready to do some more folding. Lots of folding with this. We're going to do this next part 4 times. Move the piece of paper up, and you want the point of the paper to go right to the center, like that. Okay? And then I'm going to turn the paper and do the same thing. Point it up and fold. Turn it, point up and fold. Turn it once more, point it up and fold it down. Try not to overlap. Try not to do this so that you have 2 of your folds kind of overlapping and touching. Make sure there's sort of a space between your folds. See how there's a space here? So that when I push these all down and release them, they all kind of pop up and there's little gaps there. Okay? So that looks really good. If you turn it over, this one's all nice and smooth, and we've got 4 squares here. So what I want you to do is turn it over now onto this side, and now we're going to do that same thing again with the smaller square, turning this up like this. And again, this little point here needs to go right to the center, or just almost to the center. The key here is you don't want to go over top of the folds that you see here. You don't want to go past the center like that. Turn your page, turn it up, and fold, turn, folding again, Sometimes it'll take a few times to make this to get it right. So there, that didn't work out really well for me. I've got a big space here. That's okay. That might happen to you. It'll still work out. So there, I've got my four pieces turned in again to the center, so now I've got an even smaller square. All right, now this next part, we've got a few more folds to go and we're almost done. Take the bottom, so turn it so that it's a square, and now I'm going to fold it in half like this. So you have to make sure that you don't bend this when you fold. Make sure you're holding your finger down. Keep all these little pieces pushed down. Push it up, fold down, okay, and then take this and fold this up again, and now you've got a really small square. Okay, so all of our folds are done. Now we're going to unfold a little bit. And we unfold, you'll notice that we have 4 places where our fingers can go. So I'm just going to pull those out with my fingers. Now this is what I always find to be one of the hardest parts, is getting this unfolded so that you can make the final structure. So here's how I do it. I put 2 fingers in here like this. See how they're going all the way in? And I hold it like that. So now I've sort of got this side held with one hand. Then with the other side, this is the hard part, very gently, not really hard or it could sort of bend and break. Get your other fingers in to the other side and bring the points together that you see. Okay? Now once you have that, when you turn it over where your fingers were going, you might want to fold these down a little bit so that they're going to stay folded. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm folding those down. And once you do that, then this structure stays like this. It doesn't flop out of its structure. So now you've finished. You've made your fortune teller. And some kids like to do this. You can write things on in here, make it into a fortune teller. Some kids like to make a puppet that looks like this. So you put your one hand in like this. You could draw some eyes here and make it talk. All kinds of ideas.